Alright, and it's time for a Tryndamere game, and yes, this one is a normal one with friends. Because I really don't find any way to implement Tryndamere in solo queue. Because honestly, if I had a choice between a split pushing farming jungler, I'd probably just pick Master Yi rather than Tryndamere. But anyways, in normal games, I really don't care who I pick, and my friends really can't say no to me. Anyways, two things. One, if you hear any noises in the background, it's because there's a pool right outside my apartment and everyone swimming in there is making too much noise and I can't control that. And my runes and masteries are actually the crit Tryndamere build. But the thing about that kind of build is you take 0 crit runes of any kind. It's just pure attack speed except armor yellow. The idea is just the more attacks you get in, the higher chance you'll actually get a crit somewhere in there. So, yeah, it's just in the name, no actual runes in there. The other build is to taking attack damage and just trying to hit as hard as you can, but with the attack speed build, you kind of have to cheese things and you might get lucky and you might become a god. By the way, you saw me there at gank top lane. It didn't come to fruition because I couldn't kill Pantheon. I was 1 crit away from murdering his ass and then getting out of there scot-free, but no, he got a block and I died. It's the end. End of the story. Jungle Tryndamere, as you can see, is just is one of those junglers that just farms all day. I bought Ranger's Trailblazer not really for the sustain, but the ability just to annihilate a camp and move on. When I play Jungle Tryndamere, my teammates have to be self-reliant. The only times I can join the fray is when an opportunity to collect some gold shows up. Like here, so I don't get the kill, but I get some assist gold, and I just kind of basically had to show up and hit him once, and it's a boost of my strength. It's like, in most situations, you won't see me get involved with my opponents unless the situation is just kind of handed to me. Like, look, Pantheon wants to attack Jax, right? So, of course, I just wait for Jax to bait out the Pantheon. He uses the gap closer, and thus Pantheon jumps on the Jax, and we easily destroy the shit out of Pantheon. And, of course, you see me wait to use my E only until he uses his flash to catch back up to him. You also only see me use my W to slow him only after Pantheon has already made at least a bit of a gap away from me. And again, I only get involved when the situation kind of calls for it. Here I can get an easy Azir kill. Well, yeah, we kill Azir, I make my escape. I actually popped my ultimate a little bit sooner than I should have, but it probably wouldn't have made a difference. And unfortunately, Vayne kills me, and even worse so, she managed to escape. It's still a positive trade-off for ourselves. Now, seeing as this is blind pick, I couldn't make any choice as to where Tryndamere fit in against the enemy. But it turned out to be kind of okay. I mean, they're all kind of an all-in sort of thing, right? They all jump in and they all burn their stuff right away. That means that if I wait patiently for them to blow their ultimate and their CC, then I might be able to walk in there and just cut people up. Like, they don't have a lot of spammy abilities, except maybe Nautilus's E. They're all basically engage and then just tear the enemy to pieces. So like here, look, Pantheon full on engages on the Bard. He does kill the Bard, but he's pretty much stuck. And I just get to freely cut him up. The enemy team can't do anything because they already blew all their stuff on my other teammates. So that's what I figure is going to happen in this game. And that's what I'm banking on. Which is why you'll see me take see the regular conservative build of Tryndamere with the Ghost Blade and Blade of the Rune King, and I'm going to go straight out damage because there's really nothing they can do once their abilities are down. Like, I can go in, assassinate one person and then ditch the fight, but just doing that alone is enough to pretty much win certain fights as long as it's someone like Azir or the Vayne. Either way, as you can see, I farm up a Storm. That's probably Tryndamere's greatest asset in the jungle. It's just farming and taking any lane and dicing it up to pieces. Now here, look, same thing with Pantheon. We go to gank him. That ward right there was a misclick. It was supposed to go to the bushes in case he ran in there, but I didn't chase because it was very obvious his teammates were coming. Rewind that and watch that again. The Pantheon was going towards the left first, towards his tower. But then all of a sudden he turns down. To me, that was signaled, okay, he's running down. Well, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a tower, but he's running down towards the river, which would probably put him closer to my teammates or something. So that must mean he must have teammates around there as well. So that's why you saw me back off. Jax went in there, but he kind of paid the price for doing so. Now, Tryndamere, yeah, I've already gotten to the point where I activate Tryndamere mode. Any one of the enemy team that I manage to catch, I'll be able to kill them 1v1. Probably not Vayne, because she'll just kite my ass. But Like with the Blade of the Rune King build, and then eventually a Ghost Blade, you'll see me start taking more risks. I know I can kill one person and maybe even two in the right situations. And by the way, all that yelling you hear, again, it's those kids in the pools. They're really annoying. In this situation, I try to kill the Pantheon, just dicing at him, but he stunned me, so I just back away. And unfortunately, my Jax teammates sort of got baited by my own attempt. I mean, I don't think he's too familiar with the super selfish jungle Tryndamere kind of thing. Tryndamere in the jungle, or Tryndamere in general, is a lot more cowardly than a lot of people understand. You're trying there just to pick your fights, kill one person, leave, or something like that. You don't stay for the long haul. You're a very selfish character because in the early game you're very easy to kill, and your damage hasn't spiked up too much. So like here, I could probably have killed the Pantheon, but then I would have died. I'm not gonna make that kind of trade-off. I just run for my life. As you saw, Sejuani was coming up. Her wolf basically said, "Hey, we know you're here." Now, like I said, if this was a ranked game, I probably could never justify picking Tryndamere in any situation in the jungle at least. Like if I had a choice, it would likely be someone like Master Yi in a similar role to Tryndamere, farming and pushing or whatever. Tryndamere is just kind of purely auto-attacking, and sure, his ultimate lets me survive in bullshit situations where I play recklessly or do something dumb, like you saw right there. But if your opponents know what they're doing and make sure to keep you in check, then you shouldn't really be able to get away with this. And Master Yi, on the other hand, he actually has some matchups where he outright counters. Like a little while ago, I managed to pick Master Yi against a team that had Sejuani. Wait, no, yeah, they didn't have Sejuani. Actually, watch this fight. Here's what I mean. They engage on me, I back off. Bard actually has a nice ultimate, traps them so the rest of my team just sort of line it up and just annihilate them. And I just sort of wait for my moment. I'm too low to do anything. But Azir gets too close, and I know he's burned off his ability, so I just cut him up. I use my ultimate, of course. And then I jump on Vayne and deal some damage. And then, of course, Nautilus is the only one alive. He can't do shit. So I didn't really do anything in that fight, except contribute damage when everybody was already CC'd and nearly dead. And, of course, then we get buried quite easily. Now, anyways, that's what I was saying. I managed to pick Master Yi into a game where the enemy had, they had Lulu, they had Jungle Nunu, they had a AD carry Jinx. I think their mid laner was Azir, so he'd be probably the only problem. And top lane, I think top lane was a Swain, and I had picked Master Yi, and I just felt really devilish there because, honestly, if you think about it, they can't do anything. By the way, that you gotta just see, that's just so bullshit as Tryndamere, isn't it? No, of course, Jax takes my place again and dies. Kind of is a reason why I survived. Like, I've gotten to the point where the game is just cheese at the moment. There's no way we can lose at this anymore as long as we play it properly. Like, if I get on top of the Azir or somebody, they're gonna be cut to pieces, and that's probably the biggest one of the biggest problems with Tryndamere. For the most of the game, I didn't do anything. I was just kind of cherry picking the opponents and farming nonstop. But because the enemy team couldn't do anything, and honestly they couldn't, they're getting punished hard for it. Like, look, my farm is higher than some of their laners, and I didn't do anything. And like, it is such an effort to kill me. Like, Nautilus, and none of them can initiate on me and expect me to die. Only if I get trapped or something like that with Azir shit will I die. But in most cases, I'm unstoppable. My team, they have a team we have a team composition that pretty much is can handle itself, right? Bard will help my teammates escape. They'll kite, they'll blast. They're all very pokey, except probably Jax. So I can split push all day. I can continue farming. I can just be, I could just never participate in these fights, and my teammates should be more than fine, except in times they get greedy. But look at that. My teammates were a sliver of health, and they still managed to escape. They didn't get caught. Only one of them died. And in the meantime, I got to farm a bit more. I get to kill Pantheon without them being able to do anything. I get to farm the Wraiths while Azir beats up on me. Of course, it cost me my ultimate, but that's still nothing. And I'm back to nearly full health. Tryndamere is such a bullshit champion. I like playing him. He's one I have, except on this account, on my main account, I literally have every Tryndamere skin. He's one of my guilty pleasures in the game. he's just so fun, so bullshit, and can carry a game if left alone. Like again, I didn't do anything this game, but I'm still just like the biggest threat after a while. So yeah, the enemy team has lost. It was an normal game. It was fun, and honestly, it might have been a kind of a dull game to upload. But if you watched me on stream, I really don't have much better. So the hooray for Tryndamere and hooray for Stonewall and friends. Remember to like the video to support the channel and to subscribe if you haven't yet. I have a few sponsors that are helping me maintain this channel, such as Loot Crate and Pro Build Systems. I have links to their websites on the description below. Use my code for a discount, and using my links also directly supports my channel.